promoting businesses and organizations to help them reach their full potential. Lighten the path to the success of your business. Enhancing the lives of our listeners by talking about things that matters most. Helping you to shine your light emotionally, mentally, spiritually, socially, and physically. Spreading positive vibes. You've got it locked and you're listening to Light Vibrations, brought to you by Lyte Communications right here on CBN Radio 90.9 FM. And now your host and our director, Natasha Letson.
Hello, you've got it locked and you're listening to Light Vibrations here, chilling with me, Tasha T, aka Roxy, and in our studios again, we have returned this week to talk about the hot topic, Lorie. Last week, if you heard from Lorie, we had an interesting talk about, spirituality, her journey to Africa. We talked about, speaking positivity, forgiveness, and all of that great stuff. And to this week now, we're back with Lorie because we didn't get to the juicy stuff. So Lorie, welcome back. This conversation for me, what is you want to talk about?
Yeah, there's so much. So, okay, right. The last time we said one of the things that sparked the conversation is I chop off my hair, right? My locks. And so, I hear people talking about, well, how you gonna have a man head now? What is a man head? I in my natural state, right? Mm-hmm. And you're walking through town, you're walking through the place, and you see a bunch of women with long hair, and the man tell me straight up, one of these men tell me straight up, listen, we like long swinging hair, right? And I walk into town and I notice in a lot of these Spanish women with their hair long and they got extra thing behind them. So I feel like, wait, so I can't, no man ain't gonna check me because I bald headed. What this I have to be behind me? I walking in my African essence. I walking in my African essence, right? And I wondering, so wait, I have to put on, you rather me put on my hair, put on my bottom, put on my titty for me to get some attention from you? What are you telling me now? I falling behind? Help me explain this, Roxy, please.
Yeah. Seems like you open Pandora's box here because if you hear it from these guys, it's like twofold. You have a set of men out there who want a woman natural. They want a natural woman. They don't care long hair, short hair. They don't want you with makeup. They want you to floss your natural beauty. I call these men the mature men. And then you got a set of them out there who they want vanity. They want, they don't mind the fake because the woman look good and they want their woman on point. So if they have to give her $300 every other week to do her hair and to buy all these weave and to go down Santo and to get a little surgery here and there, they're going to pay that bill. They're going to pay that bill because they want like a trophy woman. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to it, my dear, and with real men out here and what they looking for something other than looks, who do you think they come into? Right. Natural woman. Right. So I wouldn't get too discouraged by that because really and truly, what kind of attention that would be anyway, if that's the type of woman they're looking for. If that's not what you're selling, then that in your market. Right. And I wouldn't say don't lose no sleep over that.
Yeah, okay, that's true, right? And I ain't hating against no woman who do any of this. Let me just put a disclaimer in. Whatever is for you, is for you. You know what I mean? So there's no judgment. So going back to now the Santo Domingo women and the Hispanic women that's here, right? Mm-hmm. From time we small, I hearing stories about how these women do all kind of thing and they taking people, men and stuff because they going to do what they got to do in the bedroom with the man and them kind of thing. And so I also know, like, in the culture of the BBI, us young women, we were taught to be stush and prude, or you save it. So I want to know, so I really questioning, like, I don't know what kind of men coming across. I was taught you have to do what you have to do, right, for your husband. Mm-hmm. But if you ain't married me, right, you want me to give you everything. You can't get a cow and the milk bar sugar. Listen, put a ring on it, you get what you want. Okay?
Okay. I love that. You know why I love that? Because let me tell you, I had this guy on my show some weeks ago, Joey, and he was talking. The very last thing he said to the end of that show, and you know that it really resonated because other people on previous shows alluded to it. But he said, you know, my black beautiful queens are losing. He said, my black beautiful queens are losing because these Spanish women have this thing locked down. They're doing what they have to do for their man, and it ain't just with the sex, it's with the care, the attention, the cooking. It's with a lot of things that you know us independent, you know, as social females. We don't have the time basically because like we in the same show with that guy. You know, if we're the wife and we have kids at home and what's not, and we have full-time jobs, you know. And we expected to do all of that. There's a lot of pressure on us, but these women out here, half of the time their children are not with them. Their children are probably back home, their parents or whatever is taking care of them. It's just them having to worry about them. So they could give you all the time and attention. So you know, sometimes you have to be careful you're not buying, you know, a sham. But you know, and say one, say two. There's also been you know, people on the show come on the show and talk about the fact that they have a problem being feminine in a relationship.
Yeah, I could identify with that as an independent woman. Also, it's kind of like the middle. You know what I mean? I think times are changing a little bit, and we have to decide. It's just a matter of value system, okay? Because I was raised up that my grandmother, she did some work, but my grandfather was a breadwinner, right? Then my father was the handy person around the house. My mother dealt with inside the house. But the way they raised us, I could do inside and outside. So the thing that's happening is, back in the day, there were strong roles. There were strong men roles and women roles. Now the family dynamics has changed so much so that half of the time, no offense to you brothers, I'm just keeping it real, y'all ain't there. You ain't home in the house for whatever reason. Whether you're walking off, you're gone, wherever. So the women we have to do outside and inside. We have to hold it down. And so over time of that, now generations later, those roles are now misconstrued. So now you have men sitting down in the house and women working. You know, so I understand how that will be a struggle for males and females because of how things have been just kind of over time just kind of get mixed up. And women don't, brothers, that I mentioned when I was in my last show, grace, we gonna need your grace, and we really don't mean it. It's just because we had to do without your presence for so long, whether it was our father or big brother or whatever. We didn't have a lot of male presence, so we had to be male and female. And sometimes it's hard to put down where you just used to. Is if you meet me 35, that's 35 years of me being male and female. So you can't expect just because you come now I know how to put on my male part. So that's really true. But I definitely understand the need for balance, and there being male and female attributes within the relationship. People will just need to define what that looks like within each individual relationship. And yes, females, y'all got to give the brothers some grace too. No offense, brother, but y'all know y'all slick a little slower than we women. No offense. I know, not that I am slower, I just don't prioritize the same as fast as we do, which means that things that y'all will pay attention to come later. So women, we have to be give them a little bit more grace, maybe walk away, walk out the room, whatever we need to do to allow them to figure things out. So that's really, in my 14 years of marriage, I had to learn that as well. Like early, I know how to tile, I know how to do paint. I paint every wall in my house, and when my husband go do stuff, I watch him to see what he's doing because I know how to do it. But that emasculating him the same way. So just, if you tell a man paint, go cook. Don't even be in the room. You know what I mean? And whereas before, that's what really is a matter of trust. It's been broken through the process of whatever, the however people call it, systematic breakup of the family. You don't have man and woman in the house no more. So it's all of that, so. But yeah, sisters, at the matter of fact, we gotta give each other grace. Men, I have to give us a little patience. We trying. Don't forget, we working hard. We back in them day, it was just all we had to do was the house. All we had to do was cook, clean, and the children, and whatever little side thing we do to bring help and money. That was just what it is. But now we're equally responsible for the finances of the house. So you can't. That's another expectation that you have for me to still have all the same expectations as if I wasn't working, and still you expect me to help. So I handling 1.5 portion of the responsibilities of the house. So just being real, you know what I mean? We gotta work through the new family dynamics that this new society is building up.
And you know what? I agree with you there. I don't think that the men have to conform.
Yeah.
You know, why are men now taking us a back seat? Why is that okay with you to have your woman supporting you and then want to control the woman? You can't do that. You can't do that because how would she? Because to me, yes, you're supposed to be the head of the household and the leader, but as Lorie said, if I say, well, babe, this needs to be done, that needs to be done, 3-4 months pass, you ain't move on it yet. If I still have to turn around and start it out, and then at the end of the day, I bring in home all the money, you sitting there every time I turn around, you ain't even helping me cook, clean, nothing. You're like dead weight. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I would advise the men, if you're in that capacity, you know what I mean, do something to update and edify yourself. You know, start businesses, find something that you like to do. You have to be, even if you bring in $5 compared to her $20, bring in and do stuff. Don't allow the women, because, you know, I've experienced that too, where it's like you have to carry the financial strain, and then, you know, you have somebody in your life, and at the same time they want to be the boss, but then they're not leading, because then I'm like, how can I follow you if you ain't leading? If you can't do what I need done, if I still have to work it out, you know. And we as women, you think we want to be ultra masculine in a relationship? I don't think we do. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you're not that person or that type of man to assume that headship role and say, baby, I got this. If a woman don't feel like, yeah, my baby got this, it's gonna be like that. So I think that men, you know, you need to step up your games out there in the streets. Yeah, women know we have more degrees and we probably make more money, but at the end of the day, y'all are still men and y'all have the potential to trump anything we're doing. You just have to find that passion and find that love for what you're doing and do it, and not become lazy. I think we have become lazy, and you have allowed the woman to usurp the role of a man because she making the money that she making. Yeah, she making all the money, she working, she still dealing with the children, and you up and down burning out her gas. And she have to give you money. You're not a man, you have become another child.
Right. Straight up. And I mean, I didn't want to make this conversation a man bashing conversation, you know, because I think it's naturally, it should be a balance, you know, and sometimes it may not even, we using finances as an example to say who's head and not head, but really in your leader, like if you really know who you are as a man and you really stand strong in your confidence, I ain't saying you got to be bossing a woman around and that kind of thing, but if you stand strong and you feeding her spirit in a particular way and you dealing with her in true love, you know what I mean? Not no, I hold in my set and I the man of the house, but like you really are a man of your word. That's really when a woman being disrespectful to you is because she stopped trusting you. And me talking about you cheating and them kind of thing, that cheating thing, that to me, that's the bottom of the barrel. By the time you get to that, a whole bunch of other stuff. Right. And I ain't talking about her giving you no. I ain't talking about the love and respect in the house gone before the cheating started. And so when a woman start to disrespect you or start treating you a certain way, and she try and man up on you, it's because she don't see you as a man. So no, if a woman doing that with you and you ain't check and you ain't kind of put, I ain't saying you got check, she like, you don't watch yourself, but you like, I got this, you ain't correct her in that way, you didn't have to do that a couple more times, she don't see you in a certain way. And so you have to condition her and yourself in the culture of the relationship early. It's just like when you're raising children. Not to say that adults are children, but what it is about conditioning the relationship. The parenting is about relationship as well. Your relationship with your children. You telling your children how to relate to you. Don't go ahead and do that. Do I tell you whatever. So the same thing in a relationship. Babes, I don't like when you do that. Listen, watch how you talking to me. little stuff like that is only. But if you just like, and that's another topic we gotta talk about. Yeah. Anyway, we got so much to talk about because some of these men also figure if they say yes to everything the woman want, then they're making her happy, and that right there, she don't lose respect because you ain't got your own mind, a mind of your own. Again, if a woman lose respect for you, boss, if she step into you strong, it's because she don't respect you. And if you, the way to handle that is to check her early. I ain't saying slap her, I ain't saying that. I'm saying put your foot down and speak with love and say, babes, that ain't gonna work. That's all you have to say, and that will fix that. If she don't respect you, and you need to look at yourself in the mirror and figure out what it is about you that she don't respect it, and it just might be just how the paths align, like her radar for respect. Like for me, I respect my mother's work because my father worked from 7 in the morning to 7 on hijab, come home and do work around the house. So for me, a lazy man can't get my respect. I'm sorry. I don't care how much money he making and how intellectually in his mind he could do. If you can lay some time, paint the wall, wash the Jeep, some kind of thing with your hand, somehow to me, that is what I learned as a man. Not saying that if you don't do them things, you're not a man, but for me, those are the things I value in a man that helps me to hold respect for him. So some of those things, the bottom line is about respect. When a woman, because it's not in our natural, innate nature to be managed. It's not, we mix so. So if we're doing that, it's because we are compensating for what we feel is lacking, and it's not. And so we have to really reevaluate the relationship. Brother, you gotta look at yourself like, okay, what she feel like she got compensate? What is I doing, or what is happening in her past when she don't trust that I could handle it? And that's the truth. It's really about the lack of trust and respect.
And I like that whole topic with respect and respecting relationships, because really that's part of the foundation. Respect, communication, transparency. And you know, if you find that you with somebody, and what you said is correct, if you as a man and your woman dealing with you in a certain way that is, you know, borderline disrespectful or blatantly disrespectful, if you don't check that behavior, you're gonna be like, you know what I mean? She gonna forever have you like a child. And the roles reverse. He will have you like a child. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever you accept continues. So if you find that you're in a relationship where you're not being respected for you as an individual, then you need to really look in the mirror and say whether or not you think this relationship is good for you. I think too often we see in these relationships, these respectless, trustless, loveless relationships, because we are afraid of the future and afraid of being alone. But sometimes you have to let go of bad situations. You understand? You have to let go of bad situations to find better. God himself wants you out of that, but you want to make it work. Sometimes everything ain't gonna work. You're supposed to be with somebody either for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Everybody ain't lifetime people. Learn what you have to learn and keep it moving. If that person ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel as an individual you're supposed to change your entire being for somebody. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because then that wouldn't be real. You have to stay real to who you are and let somebody really love you for that. So, and one thing I know I learned, if you don't have respect in a relationship, you know where that person loves you. If that person don't respect you, that person can't love you. So then what are you now? You become a hostage.
Yeah, that's real. So for women especially, the way we love it comes from respect, right? So when we say we love a man, we really mean we respect a man, and that's what the men needs to feel. The men don't need to feel loved; they need to feel respected. And women need to feel loved, but men need to feel respected. So, like Roxy said, it's really relationship is about love and respect. So women, our responsibility is to help our husbands or men feel as respected, you know. And that's why I guess they're talking about these Santo Domingo women and stuff like that, because in their mind, their definition of what a woman is and when a woman respect them is because it look like them cooking and them serving them and them kind of thing. It got some men who don't need that, and it got some men who do. So women, when you get to with men, you need to identify. He needs to be able to be identified. Y'all need to be clear on what his lens of a woman is, And you need to measure yourself against that to see if it's even worth it. Till months later, he cussed me because you didn't cook, and you don't cook, period. You know what I'm saying? So don't set yourself up for failure because he cute and he got a good or whatever it is. If you're really looking for a long-term relationship, then those are the things that, that might happen, that might work when you're 18, in your 20s and stuff like that. But once you pass a certain age, those things are not even, come on now, seriously. So I think there is some value in learning from the women that the men are talking about. The men are telling us what they want. You know what I mean? And I know we are radical and we feminists and we strong now and we say, nah, man, I want equal to you, and that might be true. I want to be treated equally. I want to have freedom. I don't want to feel like I have to cook or do whatever. But at the same time, it's called relationship, so you need to be able to relate to your mate and your mate needs to be able to relate to you. So the way that he's going to relate to you as a woman is based on certain things. And I'm sure if there's 7 days in a week and you cook 4 of them days, he ain't vexed about the rest 3. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, and if that's not a value for you, to cook and serve your man, then you gotta find one who don't care about that kind of thing. You got some men who like to be the one to cook and clean. Well, you find he. You know what I'm saying? So really, at the end of the day, men are telling, when we arguing back and forth about I a woman losing and I a man losing and I is this, it's really about we're telling each other what we value. We value this in a relationship. We value that in a relationship.
Yeah, I agree with you, but what I seen out there in these streets is that people might have the perception of what they want, and they know what they want, and they know what their love lens look like, what their love language look like, but you ain't telling me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So you want this type of woman, but I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like sometimes in relationships, we don't get the relationship a chance because we want to be out there in these streets regardless. 2, we want to be doing all dirt. But if you're really in it for the long haul and you really love the person that you're with and you want to, be in a long-term relationship with that person, if you have issues with that individual, you should tell them. I mean, it sounds elementary, but how many of us really in a situation where we vocally explain to our partner the things that we like and we don't like about him, the things that he's doing or she's doing that is causing the gap in the relationship, the things that we're doing to each other in around the house, how we're dealing with the children that pushing us further and further apart. It's like, after a certain time, we just start to distance ourselves. And then that's when, they start cheating and then lying. That's where we together on paper, we married on paper, but we don't have a relationship because we have let all the small issues part us off in such a way that now, the distance between us is like, 2 islands. So I think that, one of the takeaways that we should really, pay attention to in relationships is to voice your grievance. Voice your grievance. No, there are ways to do things, because, I've been in situations where, somebody's telling you about yourself, but they're telling you to be mean, nasty, facetious. They're just trying to hurt your feelings. At that point, ain't nobody checking for you, nobody hearing what you say, nobody don't care what you're saying because right now you're just attacking me. Right. And we all know in communication, it's hard enough to communicate with somebody, but once the attack starts, we only listening out for our rebuttal. So at the end of that long 3-hour conversation, really ain't hear nothing what you say because I was just waiting for the points where I want to chime in and show my blows too. So I think that we should really, really strive in relationships for that communication. And don't be so quick to cut and run when we have it brought up the problem to address the problem.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, this year makes 14 years for us, and trust me, that 14 years don't mean we're perfect. We done went through every roller coaster you could find, and one of the things that really, to be honest, the honesty is there, and no mean, like I said, I made my mistakes in the relationship, he made his mistakes in the relationship, but the one thing that we continue to do is talk about it and be real about it and give each other, grace, or just be honest about, hey, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I'm missing, this is what, and sometimes you have to do this thing where when you get together in the beginning of a relationship, people change. You change, the person change, things change. So what was good enough for you in the beginning of the relationship, 5 years later now you have children, you might have new goals, you might have something different that you want out of life, and you may have to look up and realize that this person is no longer fitting that bill. It's nothing against that person. They just don't have the tool set to offer you that. You know what I'm saying? Or it may be a way of you having a conversation to see how you can grow in that way, grow together in that. But sometimes we try to hold on to things and not realizing, like, hey, we just grew apart. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Because when you got together, you were 18, you didn't even know who you were. Or when you got together, you were 20. Or when you got together, you were 30. It don't matter, because we know we change all the time. Experiences change us, things change us all the time. And the one thing that you would just pray is that the communication, transparency, and authenticity is what kind of helps you navigate it. But ultimately you don't want somebody to have to change themselves, the core of who they are, ultimately to try to appease you, because that's not sustainable. If you say, babes, come dance with me every day, that ain't gonna work if you don't dance at all. Because maybe you might get him do it once a month. But don't make the expectation that I just decided today I like to dance. I never used to like to dance, but now I like to dance. I went one time and I like to dance now. Well, the person, you gotta give them time to catch up to that. So that's also another bone of contention in relationships, is we're not giving space for the upgrades. Because think about it, how much time you don't change your cell phone since you started using cell phone?
And I like that point that you brought up in terms of supporting your mates, in what they like and what they like to do if you're going to be in a relationship. And sometimes you might, let's say you pick up a church girl and she is a street man and all of that, and she decides the only place she want to go is church, and she don't want to go, and you like to go out and you like to have fun. You know what I'm saying? That means you are unevenly yoked. So if you pick up somebody that is so vastly different from yourself, you have to be able to compromise, because otherwise you opening the door for indiscretion. Because if I like to go out and in my heart I want to go out with my man, and he decides he ain't going nowhere, and no matter how much time baby come let's go, baby come let's go, baby come let's go, baby. Months I asking this man to go out and he ain't going out. Eventually they're gonna start to go out. Because at the end of the day, like, well, okay, if you want to stay home, stop home, then I gonna go out and I gonna have fun. But then you see one side out, and I probably seen other people with their man out, or people out checking you. You opening Pandora's box. No, I ain't saying, like you say, give them a chance to upgrade, yes. But at the same time, if you would meet and you know the type of person I already am, don't try to conform me to you if you're a homebody, but try to meet me some other way. I would appreciate that. Even if you say, okay, baby, I'm going to go out with you. Sporadically, come out with me and let me feel like you're sharing in my life. And I think that alone, being selfless, I think we're too selfish in relationships. We have to put the other person first, and you will see how that love will be. If you like you said, you 14 years in and things getting a little dreary, that spice it right back up. You rekindle. You just have to give you that. You don't need another person to spice you up. You just have to give attention to what you have.
Yeah, that sums it pretty much up. I agree with that. Like I said, the point that you make about meeting in the middle, you know what I'm saying? So that's important. And I feel like with those moments, or like you said, being unequally yoked, you have to share some things in common. You have to share some things that when you feel your ultimate joy, or she feels her ultimate joy, it needs to be a place where y'all are together. Y'all need to have some spaces where y'all feel ultimate joy, because it's the memories of those times when you had the ultimate joy that will hold things together. So when the rough time comes, and because everything is ebbs and flows, but when you have that memory of, can you remember when we blah blah blah? Some you remember that, or babies remember when you have those sweet times, and the only way you can get those sweet times is to do things together, and you have to identify as a couple what is it that brings you joy individually and together as a couple, and that's what's going to be the glue.
Well, awesome. I don't know how this half hour went by so fast. Oh my God, but it was a pleasure. I really appreciate you gracing our studios today again, to talk about, some of the issues that we hold near and dear to our hearts, helping people to build healthy relationships. And I really want to thank you for your insight and thank you for sharing.
It was a pleasure. Thanks again for inviting me back. And again, love you, BBI. Love you, Black people. I love all people. Be good to yourself, grateful, and forgive.
Blessings. Thanks again for listening. You've got a lot and you've been listening to Lyte Vibrations. Don't forget to join us same time next week as we continue the Word from the Street series.
Thank you for tuning in to Lyte Vibration, and don't forget to tune in this time next week as we continue to bring you life-changing information. Until next time, shine your light.